Hi guys, I'm here at Greystone Skate Park, as you can see just up there behind me, and I'm a little early, so I thought I would do the intro outside. So today, another new trick. Yes, miracles, 2 in 1 month. Well, I say 2 in 1 month, I've got to land it first. It's an easy trick, this one, but it just plays with my mind. As a lot of you will know who watch my channel, I can half cab rock, I can full cab rock, but I cannot just straight up fakie rock. And that is because whenever I ride up the ramp in just straight, when I'm in fakie switch, I just feel like completely lost, and I just can't, like, as soon as I get near the top of the coping, I just want to like woo and just like jump off the board. So today I'm going to try and get over that and land this trick, which should be relatively easy. But why do I want to come here to try it? Because there's a ramp inside, which I'll show you when I get in, that I think will help me, because I'm not sure if I'm thinking too far ahead and I'm worried about coming out, or if it's actual getting in. That's my problem. I don't know. I've never got into one, so I don't know which one I'm scared of. And my mind does usually track in front, so I could be worried about the coming in as well. But this ramp, the plywood goes above the coping, as you will see when I show you, and I think that will help for learning this trick and just getting over the fear originally. I think it's going to be one of them tricks where I get one and it's going to be easy. I'm going to just get it over and over and over again all the time. So let's get inside and show you the ramp in question. So that is the ramp in question, and as you can see, the plywood is up above the coping. It goes over the top of it, so you can just ride straight over. So I don't have to worry about getting in or out of the fakie rock. So hopefully that will be a big boost mentally. I don't have to worry about one part of the trick. Get that bit first, and then I can bring it to a different ramp with the coping and where I have to do that, and hopefully it'll help me. But for now, first, just before I do try that, I think it's wise to come onto this part, and on the vert wall bit there, just try and ride up that fakie. Just keep riding up and down that fakie. Fakie up, regular back down, and just do that a couple of times just to get the feel of riding fakie before I go and try and do the trick. Not really the trick, is it, when I'm doing it over there, because I don't have to do the little manual bits, but we will see. I'll do that bit, then move on to that, and then I'll come back in here and I'll hopefully land one on that ramp, which the coping is regular coping. That is the plan. Let's see how it goes. finally kept my feet on the board on a few of them. Not all of them, but it's a start. Progression is coming along. I just need to learn to ride it out now. And I've done it on this. But then comes the hard part, taking it to a ramp with coping. Okay, there it is. Easy as that. Not too difficult. Now I need to try and do it and get my foot placement right, because I can't do it without when there's coping on the ramp. I'll just hang up and die. So I'm going to try and get my feet in sort of the right place where I can do a bit of a nose manual in, because that's what I need to start doing, and now I'm comfortable doing that. It's the next progressive step, so here we go. So I've got the foot placement right, and I'm putting a little bit of weight on as I'm coming back in. Not a lot, but I think it would be enough to get me back in over the coping. The thing is now getting over the coping on entry. The exit bit seems okay, it's the entry that's going to probably be the problem now. But I'm not going to go on to that at the minute, because another key thing when learning tricks is that you give it a break and then come back to it as well, because it's all good and well, keep doing it and doing it and doing it as you're doing it, but then you take that break and you come back to it and you can't do it again. So I'm going to have a little skate on some other stuff, and I'm going to come back and just try what I've been doing. And then probably I won't have time to do the next part because my session will be over here at Greystones, but I will come in a few more days or next week or something and try the next step of it, get back to doing that step again, and then back and try the entry, and then hopefully take it to the bigger ramp. So on the second day, I just wanted to get back familiar with the trick, just get back to the stage where I was at the end of the first day. So I just rolled a few times, getting back the hang of just getting that weight back on the front as I was coming back in on the ramp. And I was getting this quite comfortably, and I felt then it was finally time to try and lift up as I was going into the trick as well as getting out of it. Before I tried it at the top of the ramp though, just wanted to try it halfway up, just like doing a double quick tic tac, double tap, dead quick, just like tap tap, just to get a feel of what the motion of the trick is going to be, and then slowly edge it on up to the top of the ramp. So Now it's time to try and put the double tap technique into motion. As you can see in these first attempts, still getting the weight distribution right coming out, but I just couldn't get the tap in, just the lift over in. I just couldn't seem to get it. So here's another quick kick turn, and then another quick like double tap. I tried that a few times. I'd drop in, I would try and do the trick, and just end up getting the tap out. And then I would kick turn back round with a regular, come back up, fake again with a little less speed, and do the double tap again. Just to see if doing this as a continuous motion would help eventually me to get it on top of the ramp. However, it didn't help, and I didn't manage to actually get the tap over the top and lift my trucks up as I was going up. I didn't spend as much time on day 2 as I would have liked, because other people wanted to use the ramp and I felt selfish just hogging it to myself and filming. So it was on to day 3, and it was just a case of rinse and repeat. Carry on, trying the trick again, just tapping out of it first, getting a feel for it, and then slowly but surely moving on in to get the trick right. That one there I did get, you'll see it in slow motion here. It wasn't a major lift of the truck, but it would have been enough. But that was just enough to get me going, and I did it again, another time here, and I was really getting a feel for it, and I finally felt like I had mastered the technique of the lifting up and then lifting back in. Because I was getting used to it, it was time to take it to the proper ramp with normal coping. First I wanted to do some normal rock to fakies and just do some other rock variations just to get a feel for the ramp. It is slightly different shape and size to the one I was practicing on with the coping underneath. Straight away I found this was a total different proposition, taking it to this ramp. This ramp was not any higher than the ramp I tried it on, but it was slightly steeper, more of a steeper shape, and yeah, I struggled straight away. Just as soon as I started riding up it and faking, I just couldn't seem to master to get my foot in the position to do it. Switch that into lift up. I just my body weight just wasn't right at all, and it was a lot harder than I imagined, and I was a little disappointed coming on the back at the end of this day. On to the 4th day of the battle. I was hoping to have it done in 3 days, but skateboarding doesn't always go the way you planned. So I started off just getting used to it again on the ramp where the coping was under the plywood and I could just roll right over the top. And I just tried this a few times just to get going and get back to the same level as I was on the 3rd day. So then come the time to try out the switch slash fakie rock, whichever way you want to call it, again with a ramp with coping. But this time I chose the ramp which is the same shape and the identical ramp to the one I've learnt it on without the coping. It just has coping on it, this one. And the only reason I didn't pick this ramp in the first place is because the coping sticks out quite a lot on this ramp, and I thought that might have put me off a lot more, so I didn't want to try it on that ramp. That's why I went for the other ramp. But it turns out the actual steepness of the ramp seemed to make a hell of a lot of a difference as well. So I thought it's worth giving it a go on this one, see how I get on. As you could see from them clips, I was still struggling. But just because you're struggling, it doesn't mean you're not making progress, and there's no harm in going back a step to where you was before, just to get comfortable again. And that's what I did here. I just moved back to trying it on the ramp with no coping, where I could just roll over and get back to my comfort zone, get the confidence levels back up. Once the confidence levels were back up, it was back at it, trying to get it on the ramp with the coping. And it was just a case of perseverance. Keep trying and trying and trying. Just keep going over and over again, rock on one side and attempting just to stick with it. Yeah, I think it was just a case of getting that first one. There it was, that first one. Once I got my feet on that first one, even though I didn't land it, that was it. I had it. Next try, boom, there it is. Finally managed to land my first ever switch or fakie rock to regular. And after that, it just becomes so easy. I was just getting on without any problems whatsoever. And it just made me think, why was I struggling with it so much in the first place? But that is skateboarding. It is mainly a mental battle more than it is an actual physical battle when it comes to learning most tricks. And this one was definitely a case of mental. Now, if you want to go and try and learn this trick yourself, there's a few things you're going to have to learn and know beforehand. One is just riding up the ramp, switch, and coming back down regular. Then you're going to need to be able to do a regular rock to fakie. And then an optional extra, not really necessary, but I think it would help quite a lot, is the switch tic-tac, as you have to lift your truck up and over the coping and then up again to get back in. And then once you've mastered these, you are ready to move on to the switch rock to regular. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I hope you've gained some tips if you want to learn this trick yourself. Now go out there and get that trick down.